This is not originally something that I wanted to speak about in my car while I was driving, but I've been really busy lately, and we're going to get into how I'm able to get more busy. And, I wanted to make use of this time where I'm commuting to do what I got to do, because I got like a 30-minute ride ahead of me. So I figured I might as well start to speak about some of the things that I want to talk about, which you saw the title of the video. I'm quitting weed, marijuana, as well as adult media content and pornography. Okay, so originally I've always been this was a very interesting insight that I recently discovered about myself. So years ago I started the NoFap journey, and I started to realize how dangerous pornography and fapping is. This was something that I didn't even realize was a bad thing until I discovered some of the things on YouTube. The first channel that I saw on this was Improvement Pill. They were the ones that talked about it. They talked about like meditation and stuff like that, and I was very, very interested in it. It was a very interesting thing. So I started getting into that. And of course, when you're doing that new thing, you need to battle those new stresses, those new anxieties, because obviously we're using adult content like that as a means to cope with our stress or our anxiety or certain thoughts. So when we quit that, we learn how to live our lives in a different way, to where something is more positive or productive that will manage those same emotions that we were using the adult content to cope with, right? That's a recent discovery that I'm really finding out is the reason why we get addicted to things. And around that same time is when I started smoking weed, okay? Because I didn't start smoking weed until I was maybe like 19 years old. I know a lot of people start in high school. And that was around the same time that I started NoFap. So I started NoFap, and, NoFap was great, and I really remember seeing a lot of benefits from it. I've gone through my relapses. I haven't been perfect for 5 years. I definitely have not been super clean. And there was even moments that were pretty bad, that would turn into like very extreme binge episodes. And this was recently, even like a few months ago. Like, this lifestyle is very difficult to do. But around that time that I started NoFap is when I started to smoke weed. And I noticed that in the beginning, smoking weed was something that helped me deal and cope with those same anxiety and stressors that I might have been using the adult content for, if that makes sense, right? Because originally I was using the pornography to cope with certain feelings, and that ended up switching later on to weed. But I didn't understand that was happening until now. At first, weed was something that was very beneficial. It helped me socialize more. It helped me relax more. It took away my stress. It took away my anxiety. I started to see things for what they really are. It was a very good experience, and it was something that I would like do every other week, with if that, right? And I remember when I first started smoking, I would say to myself, well, as long as you're doing it like every once in a while and not frequently, it's not that big of a deal. And this is where like addiction starts to really get a hold of you. It starts with these like smaller conversations, and then all of a sudden you're smoking every day and you're a complete stoner, right? Because originally it was, oh, well, it's not a big deal if I smoke every once in a while. Oh, it's not a big deal if I pick up my own weed for the first time rather than just smoking from my friends. Well, I guess it's not a big deal if I smoke at night on the weekends. That's not a big deal. I guess it's not a big deal if I smoke at night during the week. I guess it's not a big deal if I smoke during the day, right? It's these like little conversations that you have with yourself where you're kind of like haggling with what it is that you are going to do. And so over time, what started to happen was I was now becoming addicted to weed, and I didn't even realize it. I thought that weed was something that was very positive for me, and it might have actually been very positive. I'm very grateful for the experiences that I had with the plant. I did a lot of cool things with it, but it definitely got to an extreme point. I'm a personal trainer, and when I would train clients, it got to the point where I would literally smoke before I did anything. I would smoke before I trained clients. I would smoke before I wrote a book. I would smoke before I hung out with friends. I would smoke before I go out. I would smoke before I see a girl. I would smoke before I eat. I would just smoke a lot, very often at least. Like, I definitely wasn't one of these guys that smoked like 3 joints a day, but I would take a hit from my bowl. I would take a hit from my bowl. I would take a hit from my bowl every few hours. It started to become this habit and this behavior. And it started to happen very frequently over the course of a few years. It started to become this thing where I maybe took a few tolerance breaks, but I was pretty much, if I had weed, if I had it, I was smoking. I was high. And it started to become my downfall. Especially, I noticed over the last couple of years, it started to bring more anxiety. I started to get more anxious about being high. And the thing was, when I was high around people, nobody knew. Absolutely nobody. I've almost never been questioned, like, yo, are you high right now? Or like, oh, do you smoke? Like, I've never been questioned at all. Now, people may have noticed and not said anything, which is definitely possible. But ultimately, I was very good at hiding it. I wasn't like an unproductive stoner. I wasn't somebody that like felt like I couldn't do anything. Like, I know some people, they smoke and they just zone out. Like, I never felt like that. I would actually smoke and I would focus in. But I definitely noticed that I started to become more anxious. I started to become more judgmental of other people and myself. It would lead to overthinking, and I would overthink and overanalyze things about, like, maybe women that I was in a relationship with that did nothing wrong, but I would overthink certain things. I would overthink my behaviors. I would overthink what goes on in my business. I started to become an overanalyzer and an overthinker, and I really genuinely believe, especially now that I've been sober for a bit, that it was due to the weed and smoking all the time. So then it started to become a problem when I would smoke weed and then watch porn, right? That's like the worst, because now your dopamine receptors are just getting fried because you're constantly like hitting the pack and you're watching that stuff. So it becomes this huge mess. And, I've recently looked at my life and, I realized I'm 25 now, going on 26. And while I am doing some cool things and getting by and making things work, in order for me to make that next level in my life, and in order for me to really like help people the way that I want, I need to quit that. I need to change, was the first notice. I need to change. A change needs to happen. I need to do X, Y, Z, okay? Because we focus on what we need to do in order for us to see that next level versus what we don't do. So it first started off with, well, these are the things that I need to do. I need to start interviewing for new jobs. I need to start looking at gaining more clientele. I need to start looking at gaining more exposure and building my brand. These are things that I need to do. So what's holding me back? And I really realized that now is the time in my life that I need to quit. And so that was like a week ago or so, maybe like 5 days ago, where I decided that I'm not going to smoke anymore. I'm done. I am very... It comes to making a decision. When you make a decision in your life is when real change can happen. When you say, okay, this is it. No haggling, no ifs, ands, or buts. Adult media content is done. If I'm so down bad to the point where I need to fap, I'm gonna like just do it in the shower. Like it just comes to that. Like if that is going to be my worst case scenario, is that. But adult media content is not happening anymore because I know what it does to me. And the same thing goes for weed. I know what it does to me. I've recognized the benefits. I've recognized the benefits of quitting. I've recognized the downfalls of what it's been doing to me. And that decision has been made, and now actions are being stepped in. And I think one of the most difficult things to conquer these habits and behaviors are the feelings of boredom. Boredom was the biggest thing and still is like a big challenge. So now, instead of filling my day up with just like getting that dopamine hit from smoking or getting that dopamine hit from watching content, it's now I need to fill my time in with other things that are productive. I need to fill my schedule with things that are on a positive note. I'm booking more interviews for myself to find a better job. I'm booking more meetings with clients. I'm going out with my friends more. I'm going out to the gym more. I'm doing these things more and staying busy in a different manner, because now I need to fill up that time and fill up that boredom and fill up other things that are more positive in order to cope with the natural feelings of anxiety and boredom and depression or sadness, or because these are all normal things for humans. And it's up to us to find positive ways in order to deal with these things, right? Instead of smoking weed or watching adult media content in order to deal with like financial stress, maybe you should look at improving your financial situation so that way your anxiety decreases. And then just the fact of trying to improve these things and taking positive steps forward is then going to decrease your anxiety anyway. And that can help you then get into a good positive rhythm, right? That snowball effect that we're all probably aware of. There's a negative snowball effect where you smoke the weed, then you look at social media, you see like a girl with a cute butt, then you start looking at adult media content, right? There's that negative snowball. There's a positive snowball too. I went to the gym today. I applied to multiple jobs. I booked multiple interviews. Like, okay, now we're getting a positive spin going, and it feels great. Okay, now I'm a few days off of adult content. I'm a few days. So the most important thing for me now is just being able to stay consistent with these changes, and I really want to make a positive impact on my own life as well as the life of others, because literally what else is there to do than to make a positive impact, right? So I'm going to conclude it there. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I did write a book. I wrote a very positive book on self-improvement. It gives you good steps. I talk about my journey with NoFap. I talk about the transitions of life. If you want to check out a book from a smaller creator and get a different perspective of things, if you want to just check it out, I'll make a video about it a little bit more in detail of some of the ideas in the book. But I'm going to go ahead and put the link down in the description. So if you want to get a read on a different perspective, support a smaller channel, I'm going to put it down there, and you can pick that up. I think it would be very helpful, especially if you're in a situation where you want to start this NoFap journey, you want to start quitting things that you may be negatively addicted to, you want to start hitting the gym more. I talk a lot about fitness and health, how you can transition and redirect your habits, and if this is something, if you're looking for a little bit more structure, I think this is the perfect resource for you. So go ahead and check that out, guys. I'm going to make more videos similar to this in my car. I've had a lot of hesitation of doing the videos in my car because I wanted it to look more professional. But I think at the end of the day, what's really important for you guys is to listen. And I think all of the self-improvement NoFap channels that are out there are mostly like just people speaking. And this is something that you can listen to if you're on your commute, if you're in the gym, if you just need to listen to something while you do housework. I think these type of positive things can really help you stick with